Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas, my dear friends. Santa Claus here, reporting not from the North Pole this time, but from the glittering world of billionaire holidays. While most families are booking economy flights, waiting in long security lines, or arguing about who forgot the passports, the ultra-rich are boarding private jets, renting floating palaces, and even preparing to spend Christmas among the stars. Yes, you heard me right, space. So buckle up, pour yourself some champagne, and join me, Santa, on a journey into how billionaires travel for Christmas for billionaires. Christmas is not about squeezing into crowded airports or sitting in traffic. It's about experiences that scream exclusivity. While ordinary families are packing into SUVs or taking budget airlines, the wealthy are boarding Gulfstreams bound for Aspen, docking megayachts in St. Bart's, or strapping into space capsules. Travel for them is not just transportation, it's theater, spectacle, and investment in status. You see, my sleigh may run on reindeer power, but billionaires? They run on Rolls-Royce engines, champagne, and a dash of cosmic ambition. So let's begin our Christmas journey through three worlds: the skies, the seas, and finally, the stars. 1. Private jets to winter wonderlands, ho, ho, ho. Let's begin our journey in the skies. Because when billionaires decide to travel for Christmas, they don't line up at crowded airports, juggling luggage and waiting 3 hours at security checkpoints. Oh no, they glide through private terminals where champagne is poured before sunrise, their luggage is whisked away by white-gloved staff, and their dogs travel in more comfort than most humans. Welcome aboard, my friends. This is how billionaires fly to their Christmas wonderlands. Christmas-tree the Billionaire Gateway. Private jet terminals. Before even stepping on the plane, the journey begins in FBOs, fixed space operators, or private jet terminals. These are worlds apart from commercial airports. Think marble floors, fireplaces, cigar lounges, and personalized concierges who know your family's names, favorite meals, and even your dog's preferred treats. Santa Claus at JFK's private terminal. Billionaires walk straight from Rolls-Royce limousines onto their jets. No lines, no crowds, no, please remove your shoes. Meanwhile, at Terminal 4, passengers are still trying to find where their gate is. Some terminals even offer luxury shopping experiences. Cartier, Chanel, and Bulgari boutiques line the lounges, so billionaires can pick up a last-minute diamond necklace before boarding. And if they don't feel like shopping, well, Santa has seen butlers deliver entire Christmas trees into private lounges just to create a festive atmosphere before takeoff. Airplane the jets themselves, flying palaces. Private jets range from sleek Cessna Citations for millionaires to the ultra-luxurious Gulfstream G700S and Bombardier Globals for billionaires. Then there are the truly outrageous, converted Boeing 747s and Airbus A320s turned into flying penthouses. Gulfstream G700, $75 million, with cabins larger than most New York apartments. Bedrooms, showers, and mood lighting that mimics sunrise and sunset to fight jet lag. Bombardier Global 7500, nicknamed the Queen of the Skies for private travel. It can fly nonstop from New York to Hong Kong. Perfect for billionaires who don't want to make any stops on the way to their Christmas destination. Boeing Business Jet, BBJ starting at $100 million, often customized with gold sinks, conference rooms, dining halls, and private cinemas. One even has a Turkish bath on board. Santa Claus, when I fly my sleigh, I get reindeer smell and frosty winds. When billionaires fly, they get Michelin-starred meals, champagne fountains, and Christmas trees strapped to the galley. Inside, no detail is spared. Cashmere blankets, Baccarat crystal glasses, Dom Perignon chilling in the fridge. Some jets even decorate their interiors for the holidays. Garlands along the cabin walls, stockings hanging above the windows, even a small tree in the corner. Snow-capped mountain Christmas destinations, Aspen, Courchevel, and beyond the most popular billionaire destination for Christmas in the skies, Aspen, Colorado. Each December, Aspen's tiny airport sees more than 200 private jets a day, so many that the runway overflows and jets are diverted to nearby airports. Gulfstreams, Falcons, and Bombardiers line up wingtip to wingtip, creating a glittering Christmas display of flying machines. Santa Claus forget toy trains under the tree. The Billionaires in Aspen put Gulfstreams on the runway. Aspen isn't the only hotspot. In Europe, Billionaires flock to Courchevel, France, known as the playground of the rich. Its airport is one of the shortest and steepest runways in the world, carved into the French Alps. Landing there requires special training, and only the most skilled pilots can handle it. But once you land, you're surrounded by Michelin star restaurants, luxury chalets costing $200,000 a week, and boutiques where fur coats sell for more than Ferraris. Other popular destinations: St. Moritz, Switzerland, where billionaires ski by day and dine on truffle fondue by night. Verbier, Switzerland, home to luxury chalets owned by royalty and rock stars. Jackson Hole, Wyoming, the American elite's quiet luxury escape. And for those who prefer the sun to the snow, billionaires board jets to the Maldives, Dubai, or the Seychelles, swapping fireplaces for palm trees. Resorts roll out red carpets for them, and some even offer private jet packages bundled with villas. Bellhop-Valdian flight experience, flying commercial during Christmas, means long lines, crying babies, and lukewarm meals. Flying private means something very different. Menus designed by Michelin-starred chefs. Caviar served with mother-of-pearl spoons. Vintage champagne and wines costing more than a car. Private bedrooms with Egyptian cotton sheets. Wi-Fi fast enough to run an empire mid-flight. Santa Claus in economy, they argue over who gets the armrest. In private jets, they argue over which vintage Krug champagne to open first. Decisions. Some jets even bring holiday traditions into the sky. Elves, yes, real actors dressed as elves, entertain children on board. Personalized stockings are hung for each family member, filled with gifts upon arrival. One family even asked for a snow machine on board to make it snow as they flew to the Maldives. Globe showing Europe Africa the Billionaire Jet Network. It's not just about owning a jet. Many billionaires join jet membership clubs like NetJets or VistaJet, where they can summon an aircraft anywhere in the world at a moment's notice. In December, these services run at full capacity, whisking wealthy families from one party to another. VistaJet even offers festive flights during Christmas, jets decorated with holiday themes, chefs cooking seasonal menus, and curated gift experiences waiting at destination airports. Santa Claus, meanwhile, Santa has to bring his own cookies. These guys have theirs catered by 3-star Michelin chefs at 40,000 feet. Sparkles the cost of billionaire Christmas flights, all this exclusivity comes at a price. Renting a private jet from New York to Aspen for Christmas week costs around $100,000 one way. A transatlantic trip from London to St. Moritz? Around $200,000. And if you own your own jet, add millions in annual maintenance, crew salaries, and hangar fees. But for billionaires, the cost isn't a problem. In fact, it's part of the statement. The plane itself is a gift, a moving symbol of wealth and power. Santa Claus, when you spend $100,000 just to get to Christmas dinner, you're not just arriving at the party. You are the party. Clapperboard Santa's final thoughts on Billionaire Sky's Santa Claus. So, my dear friends, while the rest of the world is still trying to get through airport security with their belts off, billionaires are already sipping champagne at 40,000 feet, flying straight into their winter wonderlands. For them, private jets are not just transportation, they are magic carpets of wealth, prestige, and power. And as Santa, let me tell you, sometimes I'm tempted to trade in my sleigh for a Gulfstream, though I'd miss the reindeer, of course. Ho, ho, ho. 2. Yachts, floating Christmas palaces. Ho, ho, ho. We've landed the jet, my friends, but don't take off your champagne goggles just yet, because our next stop floats. Yes, let's step aboard the ultimate Christmas playground of the ultra-rich, mega yachts. Forget sleighs, forget reindeer. For billionaires, Christmas is celebrated not in living rooms, but on floating palaces that cost more than entire towns. And I, Santa Claus, have seen them all twinkling on the waters like stars on the sea. Water wave yachts are the billionaire's Christmas stage for the wealthy. Yachts are more than boats. They're statements of status, privacy, and power. While the world crowds into hotels or ski resorts for the holidays, billionaires create their own worlds at sea. Yachts provide total control, your own staff, your own parties, your own floating kingdom. Santa Claus, I can fly around the world in one night, but even I envy how billionaires anchor their own universes on the ocean. Their Christmas trees float, their fireplaces burn digital logs, and their guest lists are tighter than my naughty and nice list. Money back the cost of Christmas on water a standard mega yacht, if you can call it standard, costs between $200 million and $500 million. The running costs each year? Another $20 to $50 million for crew, fuel, maintenance, and stocking the bar with rare champagne. Renting one for Christmas week in St. Bart's or the Maldives. Around $2 to $3 million. And for billionaires, this isn't a problem, it's part of the fun. Santa Claus, if you think spending $100 on a Christmas tree is a lot, try $2 million on a Christmas yacht rental. Ho, ho, ho. Different budgets, same holiday spirit. Christmas tree St. Bart's, the capital of billionaire Christmas yachting. Every December, the Caribbean island of St. Bart's becomes the epicenter of billionaire Christmas. Roman Abramovich's Eclipse has been known to dock there, one of the largest yachts in the world, complete with a submarine, missile defense system, and 2 helipads. Jeff Bezos' new yacht, Karoo, a 417-foot masterpiece, has also been spotted in Caribbean waters. From Christmas Eve to New Year's Day, the harbor of Gustavia fills with floating palaces, each decorated with lights brighter than the town square. Fireworks explode at midnight, reflected in champagne glasses and infinity pools on deck. The atmosphere is part carnival, part luxury summit, a competition of excess. Santa Claus, I once tried to land my sleigh in St. Bart's on Christmas Eve, but I couldn't find space between all the yachts. Dasher and Dancer had to park at sea level. Ho, 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 bottle with hopping cork life on board, a floating Christmas wonderland. What happens inside these yachts is even more extravagant. Food and drink. Christmas dinners of caviar, truffle-stuffed turkeys, lobster towers, and champagne vintages older than the guests themselves. Entertainment. Onboard cinemas playing It's a Wonderful Life, snow machines creating artificial white Christmases in the Caribbean heat, and private concerts by world-famous performers. Mariah Carey singing All I Want for Christmas, but only for 30 guests. Decorations. Entire decks transformed into winter wonderlands, complete with life-sized reindeer statues, LED snow, and Christmas trees taller than the mast. Santa Claus on my sleigh. The elves give me cookies and milk. On these yachts, Michelin star chefs give me gold-flaked soufflé and champagne so rare it needs its own security guard. Ho, 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 motorboat yacht features that redefine luxury, swimming pools that turn into dance floors at night, glass-bottom lounges for watching fish glide beneath the yacht, helipads for quick escapes to Christmas Eve parties on shore, mini submarines so guests can spend the holiday exploring undersea reefs, gyms with personal trainers, spas with treatments flown in from Bali, and wine cellars with bottles worth millions. One yacht even had a nativity scene carved entirely from ice, flown in from Norway and kept frozen with special technology. Santa Claus, meanwhile, I'm still carving my nativity scene from gingerbread. Different materials, same intention. Globe showing Europe, Africa, other Christmas hotspots for yachts, the Maldives. Billionaires dock their yachts at private islands, blending beach parties with holiday traditions. Dubai, extravagant fireworks, luxury shopping, and perfect weather make it a December favorite. The Mediterranean, for the bold some choose Monaco or Sardinia, even in the winter, decorating their yachts with so many lights they can be seen from space. Santa Claus Santa's anecdotes from the deck. Santa Claus, I once stepped aboard a billionaire's yacht in the Caribbean on Christmas Eve. The family had hired an orchestra from Vienna, a chef from Paris, and a snow machine from Finland. As the violins played Silent Night and fake snow fell on the teak deck, the guests danced barefoot with glasses of Cristal in hand. I chuckled and thought, this isn't Christmas. This is Christmas turned into a Broadway show on water. Another time, I delivered gifts to a family hosting a Christmas Eve treasure hunt for their children. But the treasure wasn't candy canes or toy soldiers. No, the treasure was a pair of custom-made Richard Mille watches, hidden inside a golden chest in the yacht's wine cellar. Ho, ho, ho. Talk about pirates of luxury. Clapperboard Santa's closing thoughts on yachts. Santa Claus, so, my dear friends, while most families gather around fireplaces, billionaires gather on yachts that cost more than small countries. For them, Christmas isn't confined to snow and tradition. It's floating on turquoise seas, wrapped in extravagance, lit by fireworks, and fueled by champagne. Yachts are their sleighs, their palaces, their playgrounds. And let me tell you, if you ever see a yacht twinkling on the horizon this Christmas, know that Santa may just be stopping there for a quick glass of bubbly. 3. Space, the final Christmas frontier. My dear friends, we've flown the skies in Gulf Streams and Bombardiers. We've danced on mega yachts under Caribbean stars, but the ultra-rich are not content with Earth anymore. No, no, no. This Christmas, some billionaires have set their sights higher, much higher, all the way to space. Yes, indeed, the new holiday playground for the ultra-wealthy isn't Aspen or street parts, it's orbit itself. So tighten your seatbelts, because Santa is about to take you on the most expensive sleigh ride of all time, Christmas Among the Stars. Milky Way, the rise of space tourism for decades. Space was reserved for astronauts and scientists. But now, thanks to companies like SpaceX, Blue Origin, and Virgin Galactic, billionaires can buy a ticket to the stars. The cost? Anywhere from $250,000 for a suborbital hop to tens of millions for a stay on the International Space Station. For billionaires, that's the price of a Christmas dinner party, so why not spend the holidays in orbit? Santa Claus, while most families hang stockings by the fireplace, some billionaires are stropping themselves into rockets and saying, "Forget the chimney, Santa, meet me in zero gravity." Christmas Tree Christmas in zero gravity imagines celebrating Christmas morning in space. No gravity means no wrapping paper scattered on the floor. Instead, it floats around like confetti. Gifts don't sit under a tree, they hover midair. Champagne doesn't pour into glasses, it forms floating golden bubbles that you chase with your mouth. Santa Claus, trust me, drinking eggnog in zero gravity is a very messy business. I tried it once, and Rudolph still has eggnog on his antlers. On the International Space Station, astronauts have already celebrated Christmas with stockings taped to the walls, meals of turkey in pouches, and video calls to loved ones. Billionaires are taking it further. They bring private chefs to design space-safe meals, commission jewelers to create space-themed gifts, and even request special decorations that can float in orbit. One Japanese billionaire, Yusaku Maezawa, actually spent Christmas in 2021 aboard the ISS. He filmed himself opening gifts in zero gravity and posted them online, proving that space holidays are no longer science fiction. Ring Planet Luxury Space Hotels, the future of Christmas travel by the end of this decade. Several companies plan to open space hotels, orbital resorts where billionaires can spend the holidays with the best view in the universe, Earth itself. Picture this, a rotating space station with luxury suites, Michelin star meals, and panoramic windows showing entire continents glowing with Christmas lights. Santa Claus forgets ski chalets and beach resorts. Imagine checking into the Galaxy Suite, where instead of room service bringing you champagne, they bring you oxygen tanks, equally essential. These hotels promise spa treatments in zero gravity, movie nights watching Elf while orbiting Earth, and Christmas trees designed to anchor themselves to walls so the ornaments don't float away. Some even plan to offer spacewalks as holiday activities, where billionaires can step outside in a suit and see Earth glowing like the most beautiful ornament of all. Rocket Blue Origin and Virgin Galactic, the suborbital sleigh ride not every billionaire wants to spend weeks in orbit. Some prefer quick trips. Companies like Blue Origin and Virgin Galactic offer suborbital flights, about 10 minutes long, but enough to see Earth's curve and experience weightlessness. Santa Claus 10 minutes in space for $250,000? That's $25,000 a minute. Meanwhile, my sleigh gives free rides all night. But hey, I don't offer champagne at launch. For the ultra-rich, these quick hops have become fashionable Christmas gifts. Imagine giving your spouse a card on Christmas morning that says, "Merry Christmas, darling, next week we're going to space." That's not just a present. That's a headline. Globe showing Europe-Africa Christmas from space. The greatest view on Earth. Astronauts often say that the first time they see Earth from orbit, it changes them forever. Billionaires now chase that same experience. Imagine floating in a capsule, looking out the window on December 25th, and seeing the entire planet glowing with lights, snow, and Christmas energy. From that height, borders disappear. The Earth itself becomes the ultimate Christmas ornament. Santa Claus from space, you don't see countries or politics. You see one big glowing ball of blue and green. And for a moment, even billionaires forget their wealth and just say, "Wow." Trust me, that's a Christmas gift you can't put a price on, though of course, they already have. Wrap gift, what do you pack for a billionaire Christmas in space? Forget sweaters and socks. Billionaires bring very different gifts into orbit. Custom-made watches that can handle zero gravity. Jewelry designed to sparkle in space lighting. Designer Christmas outfits tailored for space capsules. High-tech gadgets to record their trip in cinematic 8K quality. And of course, personal chefs prepare space-safe delicacies. Truffle mac and cheese in vacuum-sealed bags, caviar in anti-floating containers, and champagne re-engineered for microgravity. Santa Claus, meanwhile, my elves still give me cookies and milk. Maybe I should ask for freeze-dried cookies next year. Adult rocket, the first Christmas party in orbit. It's only a matter of time before billionaires host the first ever Christmas party in space. Imagine it. A Christmas tree anchored to the ceiling. Guests floating freely until guests chase them down. A DJ streaming live from Earth while guests dance in zero gravity. Fireworks? Impossible in space, but instead, guests would watch the Northern Lights from orbit, nature's most spectacular Christmas light show. Santa Claus, I've thrown a few wild parties at the North Pole, but nothing like that. If billionaires invite me to the first space Christmas, I'll gladly swap my sleigh bells for rocket fuel. Ho, 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 shooting star why billionaires choose space for Christmas at its core. Space is the ultimate status symbol. Private jets are impressive. Yachts are extravagant. But going to space? That's history. Billionaires don't just want luxury, they want immortality, to say they were among the first to leave Earth for the holidays. It's also about exclusivity. Only a handful of humans have ever celebrated Christmas in orbit. For billionaires, that's the perfect cocktail: rarity, prestige, and bragging rights. Santa Claus posting a selfie in Aspen says you're rich. Posting a selfie with the Earth in the background says you're untouchable. Clapperboard Santa's closing thoughts on Space Santa Claus. So, my dear friends, the next frontier of billionaire Christmas isn't wrapped in snow or sand. It's wrapped in stars. Whether it's floating champagne bubbles, gifts drifting around cabins, or billionaires gazing down on Earth itself, space has become the most extravagant Christmas destination imaginable. While I may still prefer my reindeer-powered sleigh, I must admit, the idea of delivering gifts in orbit sounds tempting. Perhaps one day, Santa himself will need a rocket booster. Ho, 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 Santa Claus. But now let me ask you, my friends, if you had the chance to spend Christmas in space, would you take it? Would you trade your fireplace for a view of Earth from orbit? Let me know in the comments, because Santa is curious, and maybe I'll save you a seat on the first interstellar sleigh ride. For Christmas in the world's most luxurious hotels and resorts, ho, ho, ho. We've flown on private jets, we've partied on mega yachts, and yes, we've even floated in space. But let's not forget, my dear friends, that some billionaires prefer their Christmas celebrations on solid ground. Not just any ground, of course. Ground covered in red carpets, marble floors, and chandeliers bigger than my sleigh. Yes, indeed. Welcome to the world of Christmas in the most luxurious hotels and resorts on Earth. Christmas tree, why billionaires choose hotels for Christmas. For billionaires, hotels are not just places to sleep, they are experiences curated down to the last detail. Unlike owning a mansion or yacht, where staff must be managed and logistics coordinated. Luxury hotels offer total convenience. Walk in and every whim is fulfilled instantly. Chefs on standby, spas open 24/7, personal butlers who already know your favorite champagne. Santa Claus at home, you might argue about who's cooking Christmas dinner. In these hotels, the only argument is whether you want your turkey garnished with truffle, caviar, or edible gold. Ho, ho, ho. Hotels also provide what billionaires value most: privacy and spectacle at the same time. They can disappear into a penthouse, or they can host glittering parties in ballrooms larger than palaces. And let me tell you, Santa has been invited to a few, though I must confess, I usually sneak in through the rooftop instead. Sparkles, New York, the Christmas capital for billionaires. No city captures Christmas quite like New York, and no hotels embody it better than the Plaza, the Ritz-Carlton, and the St. Regis. The Plaza Hotel, during Christmas, its suites are transformed into winter wonderlands. For $50,000 a night, guests enjoy butlers, private dining rooms, and views of Central Park lit with festive lights. One billionaire once requested a Christmas tree covered entirely in real roses, delivered daily to stay fresh. The Ritz-Carlton, Central Park, guests book penthouses where the hotel arranges horse-drawn sleigh rides, with real snow shipped in if the weather disappoints. Staff hang stockings for each child, filled not with candy, but with jewelry boxes. The St. Regis, known for its champagne sabering ceremonies in December, where billionaires open vintage bottles with swords, to applause from fellow guests. Santa Claus, meanwhile, at the North Pole, when I saber a bottle, it's usually ginger ale. Less applause, more sticky floors. Snowflake Courchevel 1850, the snowy kingdom of the rich for those who demand snow, Europe's Courchevel 1850 is the ultimate Christmas playground. It's where Russian oligarchs, Middle Eastern royals, and Hollywood stars all converge. Luxury chalets, rented for $250,000 a week, complete with spas, cinemas, ski-in/ski-out access, and private chefs who cook both fondue and foie gras. Designer pop-ups, Chanel, Louis Vuitton, and Hermes open temporary boutiques right on the slopes. Imagine skiing straight into a Chanel store. Parties. Billionaires transform chalets into mini nightclubs, importing DJs from Ibiza, installing sound systems worth millions, and serving champagne by the gallon. Santa Claus, I once saw a chalet with its own underground garage, not for cars, but for snowmobiles made of carbon fiber. Who needs a sleigh when you've got 12 snowmobiles? Desert Island, the Maldives, sun, sand, and Santa in swimwear. Not all billionaires want snow. Some prefer white sand instead of white powder. Enter the Maldives, where Christmas is celebrated in barefoot luxury. Cheval Blanc Randhully, owned by LVMH, offers private islands that can be booked entirely for a family. Prices? Around $1 million for a week at Christmas. Villa Private Island, one of the most expensive resorts on Earth. Villas come with infinity pools, private chefs, and even submarines for underwater exploration. Christmas atmosphere. Staff dress as elves. Gifts are delivered by jet ski instead of reindeer, and champagne toasts happen under fireworks reflected on the water. Santa Claus, yes. Sometimes I trade in my red suit for swim trunks. Don't tell Mrs. Claus. She thinks I'm in Lapland delivering gifts, but really, I'm sipping pina coladas in the Maldives. Ho, 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 Mosque Dubai, where excess meets Christmas Dubai, is another favorite for billionaires seeking winter sun with a side of extravagance. Burj Al Arab, known as the world's most luxurious hotel, shaped like a sail. It goes all out for Christmas. Trees are decorated with Swarovski crystals, suites cost $25,000 a night, and the 7-star service means your every Christmas wish is granted instantly. Ski Dubai, yes, billionaires ski in the desert. The indoor ski slope inside the Mall of the Emirates is turned into a holiday spectacle, complete with Santa photo ops and artificial snow. Shopping sprees. Malls host raffles where Lamborghinis are given away as prizes. Only in Dubai does your Christmas shopping trip end with a supercar. Santa Claus at the North Pole, we give away wooden toys. In Dubai, they give away Lamborghinis. Same festive spirit, Very different price tag. Japanese Castle Tokyo and Kyoto. A Japanese billionaire's Christmas, some billionaires seek cultural luxury. In Japan, hotels like the Aman Tokyo and Hashinoya Kyoto offer serene, discreet luxury. Guests enjoy private hot spring baths, kaiseki dinners prepared by master chefs, and zen gardens decorated with Christmas lanterns. Instead of Christmas trees, hotels display bonsai illuminated with golden lights. Billionaires combine business trips with holidays, meeting with bankers in Tokyo during the day and sipping sake in silk robes at night. Santa Claus, I once tried a Japanese Christmas dinner. No turkey, but a 10-course kaiseki meal. By the end, I was so full I almost couldn't fit back into the sleigh. Ho, ho, ho. Globe showing Europe, Africa, other extravagant destinations, the Emirates Palace, Abu Dhabi. Christmas trees covered with millions in jewelry, literally necklaces, diamonds, and watches as ornaments. Atlantis the Palm, Dubai, underwater suites where guests watch fish swim by their bed on Christmas Eve. Four Seasons Bora Bora, villas on stilts, Christmas dinner under the stars, Polynesian choirs singing carols. The Savoy, London, traditional British Christmas with roaring fireplaces, afternoon teas, and entire ballrooms decorated with garlands. Santa Claus Santa's anecdotes from hotels. Santa Claus, one year, I delivered gifts to a billionaire family in the Ritz, Paris. They had rented the entire floor, filled it with poinsettias and gold-plated ornaments, and hired a choir from Vienna to sing carols in the hallway. I almost forgot to deliver the gifts. I was too busy listening to the music. Santa Claus another time, in the Maldives. I arrived to find a family holding a Christmas treasure hunt across their private island. But instead of candy canes and chocolate, the children found Cartier bracelets and Rolex watches hidden under palm trees. That, my friends, is what they call holiday spirit. Clapperboard Santa's closing thoughts on hotels. Santa Claus, so, my dear friends, while most people spend Christmas in crowded guest rooms or budget hotels with noisy hallways, the world's billionaires wake up in penthouses overlooking Central Park, chalets in Portugal, or private islands in the Maldives. For them, hotels and resorts aren't just a place to stay, they are part of the Christmas spectacle itself. They are stages where luxury is performed, legacies are built, and holidays are turned into legends. And let me tell you, whenever I sneak into these hotels to deliver gifts, even Santa feels a little outclassed. My dear friends, before I fly back to the North Pole, I want to hear from you. Yes, even Santa reads the comments, and trust me, I enjoy them almost as much as cookies and milk. So let me ask you, if you were one of the billionaires we've just talked about, how would you spend Christmas? Would you choose to soar in a private jet, sipping champagne at 40,000 feet while flying to Aspen or Courchevel? Or would you rather dock your mega yacht in St. Bart's, with fireworks exploding overhead and a Michelin star chef serving you truffle-stuffed turkey on deck? Maybe you'd prefer the Maldives, barefoot on the beach, your Christmas tree surrounded by palm trees and waves instead of snow. Or perhaps Dubai is more your style, with Lamborghinis under the Christmas lights and Swarovski-covered trees taller than my sleigh. And let's not forget the bold ones among you. Would you dare to spend Christmas in space? Floating gifts in zero gravity, sipping champagne bubbles drifting across the cabin, and looking down at Earth glowing like the ultimate Christmas ornament? Tell me, if you had the choice, which would you pick? Jet? Airplane yacht? Speedboat hotel? Hotel or space? Rocket. And here's another question, my dear friends. What's the most extravagant Christmas gift you've ever received? Was it a watch? A car? A trip? Or maybe something simple but priceless, like time with family? If you could ask Santa for just one luxury gift this year, what would it be? A Rolex? A week in the Maldives? A chalet in Courchevel? Or maybe a ticket to orbit with SpaceX? I want to know your dream. Where would you go? What would you unwrap? And how would you celebrate if money was no object? Ho, ho, ho. Don't be shy, write it in the comments below. And remember, every comment helps this video reach more people. So in a way, by answering, you're helping Santa's sleigh fly even faster across YouTube. So tell me, backhand index pointing right, if you could spend Christmas anywhere in the world, or even out of this world, where would it be? Backhand index pointing right, what's the ultimate gift you'd love to find under your Christmas tree? Backhand index pointing right, and most importantly, if you could trade places with a billionaire for just 24 hours this Christmas, how would you live that day? Ho, ho, ho. I can't wait to read your answers. Let's fill these comments with dreams, wishes, and maybe even a little holiday magic.